Welcome to the O Brother Podcast with hosts Dan and Mike Smith, brothers from the same mother with different opinions on movies, TV, video games, and more, plus celebrity interviews. Get ready, get set. It's time for the O Brother Podcast. Welcome to the O Brother Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Smith. Alongside me, as always, my brother from the same mother, Mike Smith.
I'm a real host.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real host.
So we're back again with another episode of the O Brother Podcast, but this time we're doing a review on Pinocchio, which just came out on streaming on Disney Plus. And this was another one of those Disney classics that I'd never seen the original animated.
I
Pinocchio.
wondered if you had.
I had.
While I was watching this, I said, I wonder if Danny has seen Pinocchio.
I'm your host, Danny Smith. Alongside me, as always, my brother from the same mother, Michael James Smith. I mean,
hey, every once in a while,
just change the host name midstream.
You grew up to Danny. I'm surprised. You know,
my little boy, my little wooden boy is all grown up. So I hadn't seen it, and there's other Peter Pan, Snow White. Like there's so many I haven't seen, which is embarrassing.
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
So I did go back and watch the original after I saw the live action,
and I'm sure you were like, huh?
Mm-hmm. What now?
What?
Yeah. Okay. Drugs and alcohol. And okay. So it was, All right. So this is Tom Hanks as Geppetto. Now, when this got revealed or announced, one of the first things I did was I said, do we need this? Do we need another Pinocchio of any kind?
Do we need another animated movie? And there's like 5 that are in production right now.
As live action. Yeah.
Do we need them as live action? My answer, Disney is creatively bankrupt.
You waited this whole time to say that.
I'm so angry.
Yeah.
Watching this. It wasn't even Pinocchio.
No, it wasn't. But of course they weren't going to, they weren't going to tell the story about, little kids smoking cigars and drinking too much.
No, but Pinocchio gets thrown out of school because he's a wooden boy. No, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did anyone watch the original who made this? Because I don't know what this was, but it wasn't Pinocchio.
Well, and the weird thing, am I wrong that clearly in the live action Pinocchio, Tom Hanks is Geppetto apparently lost his actual son and his wife in a horrific accident. And so this is the impetus for him creating this wooden boy.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's clear because there's like there's a framed photo of his son apparently, and he keeps, and it almost looks like him as he's constructing him. So, and Jiminy Cricket, what was with what is Jiminy Cricket wearing in his face?
I was gonna say, are they preparing Jiminy Cricket for the MCU? He looks like he's got a mask on.
No, it's Jiminy Cricket starring in Phantom of the Opera.
I mean, I thought
it was so weird.
It was weird. It was it's like he had a mask on.
Right. And when I saw the animated, I thought, okay, I'm going to wait. And there's nothing.
Yeah, he looks like a cricket.
It's like, is this Black Widow Jiminy Cricket? I don't know. It was very strange.
Just bizarre choices. It was all over the place.
Yeah, it was really odd. I mean, now there were a lot of similarities. I mean, they covered a lot of the same things. As much as it was different, there were things that, as far as the characters, Stromboli and, all of the characters. But
Pinocchio is about
the MCU.
That's
my favorite line.
That's the best.
Right there.
Pinocchio's about being good, telling the truth.
Right.
They had one sequence where his nose grew and he used it to Jiminy Cricket to get a key to get him out of a cage.
Well, but in the original, it's not even that prominent as I thought it was supposed to be.
But the idea of, how do you become a real boy? be good, be kind,
Listen to
be
your
nice.
conscience. What did
This
you say?
has
You're unconscionable, or I don't know, in our previous episode?
I don't know. That
Yeah.
was a week ago.
The
So
magic of podcasting,
yeah,
folks.
so this is just awful.
Yeah,
Awful.
it was.
Maybe the worst live action they've done.
I found myself getting bored at times, and I think I started doing the dishes while it was on. I wasn't really engaged in
And
this,
then,
and
at the end,
wow.
and Tom Hanks, good Lord, what's going on with him?
What?
He was just stupid.
Well, okay, it's interesting because maybe we're disagree slightly there, only because I'm always the one to say, "Oh, Tom Hanks again." Like I love Tom, but Tom needs to take a long, extended vacation.
Yeah.
He's in too much. I
He,
think
he
I think we've done 19 episodes on Tom Hanks on the Oh Brother podcast, but he's great, all this, but it's too much. So first of all, it's just the saturation. But I my criticism of him is always, oh, it's just Tom, or my worry is always, am I going to buy him as this character? Right.
mhm.
So in this, I did, but as compared to the animated,
Right.
I'm like, what is going on here? This seems very,
Pinocchio, my little boy. And
yeah,
he's like,
he
go to
was okay.
school,
He
get the
was
hell out of
okay though. He
here.
he was one of the least is,
Annoying things.
right. Yeah.
There was just so much missing, so much heart. I didn't care about
And
this.
you've said this episodes ago. You remember when you said, "What happened in the music?" Now,
Exactly.
this is the crazy thing. Now, here's one that already has an established song that everybody knows,
Yep.
right? And yet it just fell flat in the
Fell
live
flat.
action.
And it should have, it should have been like the focus of the movie.
Yeah. And now I can't help thinking about the Avengers, there are no strings on me. Like I like that better than I like this. What's Ultron in the Age
Age
of
of Ultron.
Ultron? You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
He
When
comes
he
in.
comes out of the computer and kind of comes to
Exactly. Yeah,
life. Yeah.
right, right. That's very cool. But anyways, yeah, I mean, um I don't know. It makes me nervous for these other ones that they're pushing out.
I
Like
have
Little Mermaid starring Halle Berry. That's you want to clear that up now, or
who is it?
it's
Who is
Halle Bailey.
Bailey?
I'm
I don't know.
assuming she was named after her, but
I
could be just a
glanced and
wild coincidence. Oh, you didn't notice she was 30 years younger?
yeah,
I
but
mean, Halle Berry looks great, but
with their
she
digitation
doesn't
or
look right. It's it's deep fake
they
on Halle Berry.
they can totally digitize people to be 30 years younger now.
Yeah, they
So
can, but I don't think she looked anything like her. But yeah, I mean, there's a very little to point at here that I enjoyed.
yeah,
Now,
it's
I will say there was a couple of nice shots, like with the the mix of the live action with the animation. There was a few shots with Pinocchio and Hanks towards, I think, the latter part of the film, like some really kind of striking shots. This was later when he's being saved, from the whale
yeah, to see
or whatever.
that I thought was one of
I'm
the
like,
Geppetto's laughing as the whale's trying to eat them. Geppetto's like, "Oh my boy, look at how fast he can move his feet.
and
Oh
what
my
was with the
boy."
the the completely created character of the girl that
The
runs the ballerina,
oh, again,
the
I don't
marionette?
know. Let's give him somebody as a role model.
It didn't even pay off. They didn't
It
pay it off.
didn't. It's like he didn't learn anything from her.
No.
Like I could see if they said, "Oh, she overcame, her disability. That's
Right.
how he can look at himself as, you know, not having strings as a disability. I can overcome this." But they didn't even do that.
They didn't.
It was
They
just a
set it up
random
and then they just
character.
let it go. Yeah.
It was just awful. This was painful to watch, and it was only like 80 minutes.
I know.
And it was 80 minutes of garbage.
Yeah,
So
it was
I don't.
not good. It feels like a money grab, Tom. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not sure why you were
And
compelled to
Disney's
do
not
this.
known for paying big
Mhm.
money to these
Yeah,
actors, and he's got grown kids. I don't know why he would do this movie.
I don't know. And I don't like. I wasn't a huge fan of the original either. After I watched that, I thought, it's okay. I mean, it has the Disney magic,
Yeah,
with again the music and the whole,
right.
but just none of that in the live action.
Yeah, it was just like I said, I can't think of a worse. I mean, Will Smith as the genie maybe was worse. I don't know.
Yeah, I would support that.
Did you see it?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's god
Well,
awful.
I'm going to see that. Come on.
And I'm just thinking of all these ones. Maybe Beauty and the Beast was the closest, but
Yeah,
even
Beauty and the
that,
Beast. Well, okay. Should we get into the whole Mulan conversation? I mean, I clearly,
yeah, you liked
I
Mulan
really like Mulan.
and
Yeah,
I
I stand,
didn't.
I stand by that. Yeah.
And some of it's political for me,
Hmm.
because but I don't care about the inclusion argument as far as they were all Asian actors. Most of them were Chinese. Uh,
Right.
there was a big argument about
Yeah, you
that.
point out a lot of the controversies in that episode that we did. And if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you join almost 12,000 other folks who have.
They can't be wrong.
They can't be wrong. Like and
Um,
subscribe. Hit that notification bell, folks.
come on, please
But
hit
but
subscribe.
but
We
yeah,
watch this. Hit
this just
subscribe.
I mean, it didn't
Throw us a
even
bone.
was it at the very end? I'm like, is Geppetto walking into the afterlife with Pinocchio? Like, that whole ending scene was
It's
weird,
weird.
and it just didn't go anywhere,
I'm so glad you picked up on the Jiminy Cricket mask because
which is kind of obscure. It's a
it's
subtle
it's
reference.
obscure, but
It
it's the
is.
first thing I
Me
noticed,
too.
and I
And
was
I
like,
had no
"Why did they?"
reference. I
He's
had no
animated,
reference of the first one, and I knew it was
right?
bad.
But he's animated, so what? But you've been to a Disney parade, right? Jiminy Cricket's always on the back of a float somewhere.
Wow.
I mean, what's with Jiminy Cricket's face? Did
No.
did he have like reconstructive surgery? Did he have Botox?
Yeah, is he going out for the Joker role? Jack Nicholson? You know? Where did they get
Jiminy
a load of
Cricket
me?
in the MCU.
That
Cricket
is
vs.
funny.
Widow.
That is funny. Yeah, it was
Oh,
weird. It's just I don't why that detail?
and what about the actors' voices now? It was who did
Oh,
Jiminy Cricket? It
it
was
was
well known. He was Robin in
correct.
Batman.
Oh God, come on, you got to pull this out now. See,
Uh,
the guys are
I,
making fun of us right now down in below here. You don't know
yeah,
this reference. Why do I want to say Levitt? Gordon Levitt, Joseph
yeah,
Gordon Levitt.
Joseph
I got
Gordon
there.
Levitt.
I got there.
You should have got him from Halloween, but
What?
he was in Halloween. H2O.
Joseph Gordon Levitt?
Yeah, remember he
No.
was a hockey player.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I do. That was in the very opening.
Yeah,
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 okay,
but he
right.
was in it.
Bit of a throwaway scene, but
Yeah,
yeah, okay. That's right. I
bit
stand
of a
corrected.
stumper
I
there.
stand
Bit
a
of a
little, yeah,
stumper.
stumper. So yeah, it just I don't know. I can't really point to, there's very little. There's very little here. I did think the guy that played Stromboli was good. I thought he was good.
Yeah,
That character, and it was pretty true to the character in the animated
right,
version.
right. Because he kind of seemed animated the
But
way
I
he,
don't like, again, they created this other character that just ended up serving no purpose.
right.
And it could have been a good
There was a
storyline.
lesson
There was a lesson there to be
for,
learned.
and that's what Pinocchio's about.
Mhm.
Him learning lessons.
Right,
Don't lie. That's a bad thing.
right. When you're
And when you
smoking
lie,
cigars, don't inhale.
right. And then they changed odd things like instead of beer, he was drinking root beer,
Mhm.
yet it was still intoxicating somehow.
I
I
don't know.
guess it was spiked root beer
Wood and
because
root beer combination. Yeah.
I don't know.
And the character who plays, he's this younger character that plays this band of thieves or whatever that Pinocchio takes up with, and
Like the wolf
they go to
type
Pleasure
character.
Island. No, this is when they go to
Oh.
play, and they're with that
Oh,
group.
right. The
That kid
grubby guy.
was, I'm sorry, but that character was just like the
Yeah.
accent, and
Yeah.
he turns into a jackass at one point, which that's from the
That's from
original.
the original.
What's he think I look like? A jackass?
It's from the
Right.
original,
But they didn't
it's just-
even that scene. He turned into he just got the jackass ears at
and the tail,
Pleasure Island,
right?
right? And again, they didn't really link it to his bad behavior.
Right.
This is why this is happening to you. It just
He was
happened.
shooting. He was shooting pool.
Yeah. I mean, oh God, that's 80 minutes of my life. I want
Javi,
back.
you're gonna get Javi.
Javi.
Yo,
Harvey. Oh, Harvey! You're going to tell your friend Harvey. Harvey! He's going to tell Harvey.
hey, Ralph. He's even bigger than your friend Shirley.
You better be careful. My friend is even bigger than me.
Your friend Harvey is bigger than you? I have a friend Shirley that's bigger than you.
Oh my God.
No, this is.
I'm gonna go get my friend Javi.
Yeah.
And he's gonna not be too, he's
For
not
the
gonna take
intern-
too kind to this.
For the intern.
That's a deep cut. See if
that's
they
a
can
deep
pull that one out.
Honeymooners.
We've referenced that one before. It's
The
great.
original 39.
So yeah, this is pretty lackluster. I don't know what is the next.
What
one on
else
the
can we
docket?
say? Like
Is
how many
Little Mer-
times?
Is Little Mermaid the next one on the docket?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
Little Mermaid's coming. They're making another Enchanted, Hocus Pocus.
Mhm.
Although that wasn't animated. There's a bunch of garbage on. I think they're doing a Zootopia. Good Lord, Disney, you are
It's-
creatively bankrupt, folks, and you need some visionaries at the top. You need
Now,
to
you'll
get
be-
rid of Chapek.
Yes.
You need to get a new leader. You need a visionary. You need a Walt. You need
This-
a Michael
this might-
Eisner.
This might make you feel better.
Is that the ratings? What one says 27.
Look at
Is it 25 or 31?
27 and 31.
31.
So the audience 31, the critics 27. So this is a rotten movie, folks.
And it is rotten to the core. I don't know how
Mm.
many more times we can say this sucks,
Yeah.
but it sucks.
And this says
Don't watch
critics
it.
critics consensus. Ready? Visually dazzling, but soulless. The largely inert Pinocchio reaffirms that you should always let your conscience be your guide, away from unnecessary remakes. I don't know what that. I don't know.
Yeah,
That
they're
makes sense
kind
to
of
me,
making
but-
fun of Disney for remaking this. This was just a cash grab.
We didn't even mention. This is Robert Zemeckis.
Oh, I know. You're right.
I mean,
So it's Zemeckis and
yikes.
Tom Hanks,
Right.
and you get a piece of garbage like this. Well, you know what? We didn't even talk about Jurassic Park Dominion. So since we have a couple of minutes,
I haven't seen it.
well, that's fine because do you remember the original Jurassic Park? You saw that one. It was
Yeah, it's
pretty
been a long time,
amazing
but yeah,
when you first saw the dinosaurs and you're like, oh my God, they can do anything now.
yeah.
There's a scene in it where there's this sick Tyrannosaurus or whatever the hell.
In the original,
Yes.
right?
And they have to figure out why he's sick. And somebody, I think it's Sam Neill, goes over to this big pile of dung, sticks
remember
his
that.
hand in.
Yes.
The final Jurassic Park Dominion is that big pile of dung for 90 minutes or
Oh, that was
it's
a long way.
a big
That was a long way
pile
to go.
of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
That was
is
a
what I'm
long
trying to
way to
say.
go.
Put the big pile
You
of
could have
shit
just said
on.
it's a
Put-
big pile of shit.
Yeah, put the big pile of shit on and have the logo for Jurassic Park Dominion, because that's what it is.
It's the smiley. It's the shit emoji, the poop emoji, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. You take that cut right from the movie.
What's that?
The big pile of dung right from the movie.
Right.
The first
Right.
one.
That should be an emoji of its own.
And have
okay.
everybody's face pop up, Laura Dern, starring Laura Dern.
In the dung you're talking about?
In the dung. Have them come out of the
Yeah.
dung.
Yeah, come on.
That would have been better than what they
That
filmed.
might have made for a better movie. Yeah. Jurassic World.
Jurassic
Dung.
dung. We're dung. Yeah, we're creatively dung.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, there's nothing else you can say.
I'm
so bad.
speechless.
Yeah, it's really
Speechless
bad.
how bad it is.
It's really bad. And they, they did another where, the original is so whitewashed. So they, of course, diversified the cast and the characters in this one with the Blue Fairy and of course introducing this character that ended up serving no purpose in the film whatsoever.
Right.
That was a missed opportunity, as you described.
It should have been a perfect moment for a Pinocchio film.
And there's a song right there that could have been the song.
Yes.
Very disappointed.
Yep.
Very disappointed.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Fire Chapek. Get a visionary.
Yeah. I mean,
and get somebody to look over these parks. Get your animated house in order. Get Alan Menken back. Do whatever you got to do, but fix this creative bankruptcy.
I have a similar beef with She-Hulk, so we'll be revisiting that. That pile of dung.
The last one didn't help me much.
No, it didn't. But
Most
the last episode, no, it did not.
Didn't help my
Yeah.
arguments.
Just Jen, yeah. That was really.
But
okay, I'll save that for the air. But
yeah, we'll save it for the next one. But I will say this episode, created an arc that I see where they're going with this, the story wise, and I think it's gonna. I think the ending is going to be better than the beginning.
It's going nowhere as far as I can tell. But we have to go somewhere now.
Yeah.
We got to get ready to wrap it up. But before we do, for those of you that are not currently following us, make sure that you do. The easiest way to find all things Oh Brother is to go out to our official website, which is OHB as in brother, podcast.com. That's ohbpodcast.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos out there, share the channel with a friend. We just hit a big milestone for the Oh Brother podcast. We finally get over 100 subs on YouTube, which for us is a big deal because we try not to pander for that sort of thing. Yeah, no, we're way above that. But we do appreciate everybody that's been watching and liking the videos, because we have, we've seen a trend there that it's been increasing, which is great. So we appreciate that. Hopefully that means you like what we're putting out. And so, but also, we've got the podcast streaming everywhere too. So if you prefer to listen or both, like I do with my podcast, you can find us on all podcast platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on there. And drop us a review. Leave us some comments on the YouTube videos. We love when you all interact with us there. But drop us a review on your favorite podcast player too, and let us know what you think of the show there too. We'd appreciate that. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up for another episode of the Oh Brother podcast. I've been your host, Dan Smith. Alongside me, as always, my brother from the same mother, Mike Smith. And we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone.